As a real estate agent, I'm sure you realize that you live in the noisiest environment right now. You have people calling you, trying to sell you the latest and the greatest of the next AI product or the next CRM or the next lead generation tool that you must have, and so they dangle all this in front of you and they put that fear of missing out into you, and then you just have to buy it, but you still don't know how to use it. So today we're going to talk about how we can use all the tools, AI, and everything else to help you get ahead in your business. Welcome to the Unstoppable Real Estate Agents Podcast. I'm your host and real estate productivity expert, Kim Hughes. Join me as we focus on real strategies and implement real solutions designed for you to achieve major success in your business and life while getting you organized. AI is not the problem here. It is the pile of tools that you buy. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is quit buying the tools that everybody tells you that you must have to solve that problem. They're real good about dangling that little shiny object in front of you and you thinking that's going to solve all your problems. So what we need to do is focus on what do you need to solve? What problem do you have in your business that AI can either help you save time, money, and give you the best results. So we have to learn how to talk to AI first. So if you're one of those agents that's been playing around with it, which is great, just know that you can go deeper. And you have to tell it to go deeper. So one of the things that I always say is look at your AI program. So for example, I use ChatGPT. I also pay for it because I use it so much, and I have noticed that it can really help me, save time in my day. So if you have it in the budget to pay for ChatGPT, then I would highly recommend that you do that. But if you're on a budget, you can't afford it right now, it's just not there, then that's okay. Just use the free version and just get it to work really hard for you. Not you working hard, but have AI working hard, okay? So the first thing I want you to do is when you open up your AI, and if you've already got an AI system, then you might want to go back and do this if you haven't already. So the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is tell your AI who you are. I am a real estate agent. I work in, let's just say I work in Tyler, Texas, and the surrounding markets. If you need those surrounding markets, ask me for those. But if you can pick those up, knowing that I'm in Tyler, Texas, and you can pick up those surrounding communities, then do so. So what you're telling it right there is that I am an agent, I work in Tyler, Texas, and I do have the surrounding communities that I work in. But let's see if AI can pull that for you. If not, then you can go in and tell it, okay, I work, my expanding market is Flint, could be White House, it could be Bullard, Lake Tyler, So you might need to feed that information in there, but let's see what AI can do for you, and then you tweak it. So then when you're telling it who you are, what your job is, and then, what your surrounding markets are, then tell AI more details about who you are and what your niche is, if you have one, and then give it all the details. So I would say, I am Kim Hughes. I am a real estate agent in Tyler, Texas, and in the surrounding communities such as White House, Flint, Bullard, Chapel Hill, Lindale, Mineola. So keep this in the database as we work together so that you will always know this particular information going into anything that I ask you to do. I am also I'm 45, I'm married, I have 3 kids, they're very busy. I need you to work for me in my business so that I have more time with my children and my husband, or just in my personal life, whatever that may be.
So now what you're doing is you're telling it more details, and then you can go in and say, I use Follow Up Boss as my CRM. I use iHouseWeb as my website. I have social media on Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. So now you're feeding it more information about who you are and what tools that you are using. Okay. So get real detailed, because then you can tell it, every time I open up my AI, you need to remember this when I ask you to work on something for me. So that way you don't have to repeat this every time. We do not want to recreate the wheel every time we go into AI. So build it up front and take that time. I mean, it shouldn't take 10 or 15 minutes, but give it the details that it needs to know who you are and what you're like in your business, as well as in your personal life. So that way AI can work really hard for you and give you the results that you need. So, what you also want to do is make sure that you start collecting prompts. These are prompts that you feed AI, So it could be I'm walking in today and I say, hey, we're going to just call mine Fred. So, hey Fred, I am going to be working on a script to call my cold leads. I need you to help me create that list. And I get these leads from Zillow. These are people I've never talked to before. They have reached out to me through this program. So when I do call them, I would like a really good script to talk to them and give them, and really understand what they're looking for. So give me that script. Now, what it's going to do is going to give you that script, and then you need to tweak it. So if it's quite not ready or where you want it to be, then all you have to do is say, this is great. Let's change ABC. And what I usually will do is go back to, and we'll use the script as an example. I'll go into that script and highlight it and then put it down into my response to AI. And then I'll say, this is good, but we can make this better. So let's think, how can we make this better for the person I'm talking to understand about today's market? Something like that. So then it's going to give you more details. And so the more you feed it, the better the details, right? So AI is going to make your life easier. Everybody's talking about, it's going to replace jobs. In a way, it will, but in real estate, you have a huge advantage here to use this platform to help you do your best in your business. So some of the things that AI should be able to make your life easier is making you don't have to make all the decisions. You can ask AI to make those decisions. So you could say, well, I have a difficult client that's looking for a $500,000 home. They, this is their specifications. Help me create a dialogue that I can have with them, because they want more for their home for the money, for less than what they're spending. So something like that, Then you can have it do your task quicker. You can have clearer communications by having all this created for you and it be in your voice. So sometimes when I go into AI, it sometimes doesn't quite pick up on my personality. So I have to remind it, now let's do this in a friendly fashion, fun, interesting, educating, whatever that may be. And then, that's going to help you just smooth the process. So when you really get involved with AI, they become your assistant, your friend, your coworker. So you can talk to it any way you want to. And you can also tell it to respond to you and in a certain way. So like what I had to do with my AI was tell it, don't come back to me with such a positive response. Come back to me and challenge me on these topics. So, for example, I was working on a couple of things yesterday, and I went in and I told AI, this is what I'm working on. Give me your best scenario, and I fed it all my data. Then when it kicked it out, I was like, I think it can do better. Let's pinpoint, because it did. It was a huge thing that I gave it to do. So then when I went back and I said, now that you've given me this information, go back through it and tell me the things that I am missing, the things that I need to focus on, the things that I don't already know that can help this particular project be better. And oh my goodness, I was so shocked. So you can go in there and really deep dive, and talk to it. So, like if you are talking to your coach, you can have AI talk to you in the manner of a coach. So you could say, I need to ask you some questions. I need you to react to me in a coaching manner. And then you can feed it whatever, I'm struggling getting leads. I'm struggling whatever. And then it's going to come back and give you what it thinks you need. But then I'm going to say it again, go deeper. Okay. So, you don't need a bunch of tools that are going to support you 100%. You need a good AI system. But I want you to understand that when you're looking at AI systems, there are many, many of them out there that are very specific in what they do. So, for example, if I was having trouble with marketing, I would want to get into an AI program that it focuses on marketing. And that's all it does. So if I need images, I'm going to go to an image generator for AI. So all of this is available. You just need to know what you are needing to put into the business. And that's something that you can ask AI. So you can go in there and say, look, I need a really good marketing AI system. What do you recommend? Or what do you see that is the most popular or the easiest or the most cost effective, whatever. And then it'll give you all of that information. And then you can go do your research on it and see if that's the one that's going to work for you. So you don't need, these fancy generators that take 45 minutes to configure. My brain capacity would not do that. So I'm going to do it really quick. I'm not writing a novel. I'm just trying to get the input. I'm going to input the information I need to get the output that I need for that particular topic. So if you get in there and you start talking to ChatGPT and saying, I need a listing presentation, I need a buyer presentation, I need this, and you're giving it all these things at once, AI is going to get confused. And so my recommendation is do a brain dump of everything that you would like to work on in AI. And then pick your priorities and go in there and then say, hey, I need to create a listing presentation. So what can you tell me with that information? What do you recommend I put into my listing presentation? And it's going to kick you back with some information, and then you can review that and then say, okay, I need to make sure that I have a page in there for my comparables. And then I need to add my testimonial page. And if you go to my website and you put your website and you put that page where the testimonials are, it's going to go in there and grab all those testimonials, right? So you will save so much time. But now if you need a listing presentation, of course, I have one. It's on my website in my store and it's available. So it'd be really easy for you to go over there and get that, download it into your Canva, and then have AI review it and see if it needs to be tweaked to you by any means. So that right there, 5 minutes. Easy, easy, easy. Don't complicate it. Don't think that it can't do what you want it to do, because on the surface, it's not doing it. But when you go into the deeper part of it, it will help you. Now, this is where the gold comes in. You have CRM systems that are automated, right? So you can have your AI automatically tag your leads, trigger your follow-ups, log in conversations, prioritize your hot leads, update your pipeline. Now, you got to find the right AI system to do that. So, that's where I'm saying every AI, not every, but most AIs can be very specific in what they offer you. So just do some research, or maybe ask AI, I need a AI program that can help me with ABC in my CRM. What do you recommend? And see what it comes up with. Then I want you to make sure that you are simplifying your marketing with it. So, some of the tools that you can do is you can batch your social media post. You can repurpose your video content. You can generate scripts, clean up your audio and your video, and automate your email sequences. Now, let me go over a couple of things with you. If you're not already batching your social media posts, you should be doing that. That's going to save you time. And I would say, If you're doing it yourself, you should not be putting that time that you have into that. You need to have someone help you with that. We do this for our clients. So I would highly recommend that you reach out to us or somebody to help you take over your social media, because that's not where you need to spend your time. And, but when you're doing that, if you say, nope, I'm going to do my own social media, nobody can do it better than me, that's fine. So just have AI create that for you. But again, you have to tell it, I want you to create for me 30 days of social media posts that I will be using on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Each week, I want the same information, just different. So I need a buyer post, I need a seller post, I need a testimonial, I need a property listing, I need something that's going on in today's market that's in my community, whatever you want to do. And then it's going to spit that out. And I would say have that created for you either in a Word document or in an Excel spreadsheet. And then when that kicks it out and you can download it, then when you open it, you can go in there and adjust things and add your little personality to that. And then if you wanted pictures to go with that, go over to Canva and create your post and put your content on the post or create your videos, whatever you're going to do. So right there, you have AI and you have Canva. And if you can afford to pay for both of those, I'm going to say do that. But if it's not in the budget, put it on the agenda for maybe the next quarter. Okay. Some of the tools that you can do to save time when you're doing a listing prepping is have the AI clean up your photos, make them look really sharp, really crisp, and, colorful. Sometimes I will look at agents' photos and think, oh, you could have brightened that grass up a little bit, or maybe the sky could have been a little more blue, something like that. You can also give it basic staging suggestions and have it help you with that. Floor plan creations, quick feature summaries, and then, of course, you can do showing instruction templates. But be aware that, of over-engineered AI, and it does require you to upload, it does require you to download. And one little tip I'm going to throw in here is that don't always click on the link that AI gives you, because AI is only giving you what it finds. They don't know if it's spam, a virus, or anything like that. So when it says, here's a link to do this, then I would take that link and copy it and then put it in another browser so that when you do that, you can look at that link in the browser to make sure that it's not going to be, some kind of a virus. The reason why I say that is because I've done that and I did download a virus. And so I had to get that off immediately. And, and it was a little frustrating, but it made me realize that AI is not perfect by any means. So that tells you right there, you really can't. I don't want you to depend on it 100%, but I think you could probably depend on it maybe 75%. And I think that's fabulous. Yeah, I can't tell you how much time I save every day now that I have AI. It is great. So let's say you don't have time to blog, but you've always wanted to blog. AI can help you create those blogs. You go in there and you say, hey, I want to create a blog, and this is my topic. What can you help me with? And then it's going to give you that blog, and then you can go in there and start tweaking it to your personality and to what your market is bearing right now, and then upload that. Shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes to do that. Where back in the day when we were all creating our own content out of our brain and doing research, it could take me 2 hours to do a blog. So nowadays, it's not that hard to do. You just need to know what you're doing. Okay. So I really want you to really dive in and look at your AI and ask yourself, am I using it to its fullest potential? Do I know how to use it to its fullest potential? And if not, then talk to it and have it ask. Tell it, ask, now that you know who I am and what I do for a living, what questions do you have for me to make you be your best when we work together? And it's going to come back and tell you all kinds of stuff. So you're having a conversation. So I want you to feel like that AI is helping you and it's lighting the load, okay? I don't want it to feel like it's a heavy thing, but I will say this. Put it on your phone, your tablet, and your laptop, because no matter where you are, you can always jump into ChatGPT and talk to it and have it come back with information, and then it saves it so wherever you open it, that information is there. So the things that I would like to see you benefit from is that it's giving you your time back. It's taking that brain space and opening it up to more, right? Because now you don't have to keep it all in your head. You can put it into AI and help it create for you, whether it's like, if you struggle with like a daily, staying on point throughout the day, it will help you create your daily routine, your weekly, your monthly, your quarterly, your yearly, whatever you need it to do. You just got to tell it to do that. And then once you tell it, it's going to automatically start taking care of you. And being consistent, huge with real estate agents. You must be consistent in your marketing and everything that you do. So AI can actually help you with that. And it's going to give you control back. Okay. So the things that I want to make sure you understand is that AI is never going to replace a real estate agent. It's replacing your inefficiency. So agents, in today's world, you're not the only ones that use the most tools, but using the right tools is what's going to be really, really important. So I don't want you to go out there and just grab whatever and grab the latest and the greatest. I want you to go out there and find the AI that's going to work for you. And I'm going to highly recommend that you start with ChatGPT, even if you start with a free version. And then I do extensions. I go into Chrome and I can add extensions to help me create better blogs, create better marketing material. And, when you do that, it works right along the side of you, just like your personal assistant does. So I hope this really helped. I tell you what I'm going to do is to give you a kind of a jump start in the prompting part of it. I'm going to give you a free download that is going to give you some AI prompts for real estate. And that is going to help you kind of see where I'm talking about, but also feed it to AI and see what it comes back to. And then you can tweak that prompt even further. So I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. I really think that AI is going to be the agent's best friend going forward. So if you have any questions, please comment below. We'll be happy to talk to you. If you even have more questions and you'd like to schedule a call, just click on the link down below and we can get you on the calendar and help you figure out what you're doing with your AI system. And remember, we have the Real Estate OS Accelerator, where this is one of the things that we will be going over in this group coaching program. So take a look at that and see if that's something that would be of interest. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you know someone, and I bet you do, who would appreciate this podcast, please share it with them. As a reminder, this podcast can be delivered directly to your favorite device by using the subscribe links you can find in the show notes below or over at unstoppablerealestateagents.com. Remember, it takes as much energy to wish as it does to plan. Have a great day.